Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Jeep and Things / reviews. Got something super exciting for you today. I had a company reach out to me about a month ago, maybe a little longer, GASLAND. So they had a new product coming out and they finally got in the warehouse. It's all new. It's ready to hit the trails. You can tell by the title what it is, obviously already. But if you go overlanding, if you go camping off-grid, there's no excuse now for a hot shower, hot water to wash your pots and pans. We got it in the Jeep. And that's another thing. Anybody that's watched my channel knows that I have a two-door Jeep Wrangler. Just did a video here about a week, 2 weeks ago, taking the back seat out, getting ready for some fall camping. Two-door Jeep Wrangler does not have the greatest space, to store stuff and to go out in the backcountry. Check this out. It is the G3 Pro portable hot water heater. Let me show you just how small it is and compact and how it fits in the two-door Jeep. Let's take a look at it. Okay, let's take a look at it and see what we have. And there it is. Two-door Jeep Wrangler. You can see I've got my box in there. I've got my compact foldable chair if I'm going to go camping. We got everything in here that I would probably need except for I've got one 2-man tent that'll fit in the cargo box there. So plenty of room left for a bigger tent, which I have. But look how small this is. There's the Yeti Roadie 15. Give you a size comparison. And we're going to go over the specs here in just a second. Super lightweight, super small and compact. There's no excuse not to say I don't have enough room, because if anybody was going to say that, I think it'd be me with the two-door Jeep. So we're going to get it out. I'm going to set it on the table, show you exactly how it hooks up. Super easy. Tell you about the specs and tell you just exactly how this works. But just to give you a size comparison, that is it. Look at that. Let's take a closer look at it. All right, here's everything that comes in the box, excluding the propane. The propane bottle does not come in. It uses a 1-pound propane, and we'll show you how to hook that up here in a second. But let's go over the specifications. If at any time you want to pause this, you can, but we'll go over it real slow so you can see the general specifications of it. There's the side view of it. It is the G3 Pro. BTU rating is 20,000 BTU. Battery, 4,000 milliamp battery. Run time when it's fully charged, because it is rechargeable, is 1.66 hours. Charging time, 1.5 hours to 80%, 3 hours to a full charge. You can use this without, you can use it either on strictly battery, or you can use it while it's plugged in. Fuel source is propane. Fuel supply pressure to regulate max gas pressure. Electrical input is a DC 12 volt. Water temperature control is 122 degrees Fahrenheit. And basically what that means is if it gets above that temperature, if it gets to max temperature, it will shut down until the water temperature cools down. And then that way it'll restart again, which you have, and we'll go over this, you have a water control on the water pump itself. Water flow, 0.8 gallons per minute. So almost a gallon per minute. The dimensions, 15 by 7 by 6.5, or by 6.7 by 14.6. The weight, 13.7 pounds. So it virtually weighs nothing. So there we go, 13.7 pounds. What comes in the box, and it's self-explanatory. This is your pump that will go into your water source. It does say in the instruction manual, obviously don't use ocean water, don't use creek water. And I'm going to show you my ideas and thoughts on how I'm going to use this. But that's your pump that will go into your water source. It's color coded, so you can't get it wrong. That's your water in. It's got a plug. That's your power source, which is connected to the pump to run the pump. This is your 12-volt charging system or cord, and I believe it said it was 16 foot long. So you've got uh, plenty of cord to charge it, and it goes right in here. Just plugs right in there, which we will plug it in here in a second. And then this is your shower head attachment. I just put this on. It did not come on with it on. When you open up the box, we'll just screw this out. That comes off. Put it back on. And just simply screw it back in. And that's obviously where that's where your shower head will go. And you'll have a cord run to this. It does tilt forward and back. Tighten that down a little bit. And then your water outlet out, which is coded in red, which means the pump's going to take it through the system, bring it to your shower head. Simple as that. Then we'll simply take the shower head to connect it. It does come with extra, take that off. It does come with some extra seals too, just in case. Simply screw that in. There you go. And then on your shower head, on the side, it's got different settings on how you want the water to come out, which we'll look at here in a second. And then on the front, stop the water, or just simply turn this to increase the water. Got a button on back. Stop. And that allows your water flow to come out. So we'll get this plugged in. We'll get the cord undone here. And all vehicles, I know my Jeep has one in the back. And probably the way I will use this, if I don't want to use the cord while I'm using it, is just plug it in. I'll have all the hoses off and in a bag or a little container so nothing gets knocked around. And I'll probably just charge it, plug it in and let it charge on the way to my destination. That way it'll be charged when I get there. So, cord is super long. There you see it lights up. It'll tell you that the battery is charging. Once we start using it, and you have your main power on, and you have your pump to turn on. You got two separate buttons. It's charging up right now. Once we get this turned on, and you can see the minimum and maximum, and it will actually have a digital readout to show you the actual water temperature, so there's no guessing. So the way I'm going to use this is, and I just brought the little igloo cooler out for reference. Now, this is a 30-quart cooler. A 30-quart cooler is 7.5 gallons. I also have a Tundra 65 cooler, which is 16.25 gallons. And the way I would, me personally, if I'm going to be gone for an extended period of time, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know I have a basket rack that goes into the receiver hitch. I actually have two basket racks. One of them is just your normal size, and the other is extra large. If I used this, I would just throw it back in the Jeep. If I used the Tundra 65 for more water, to hold more water, I would put it on the basket rack, put the water inside of the cooler. Then once I got to my destination, take the water out of the cooler, take the cooler off so you're not lifting 200 pounds, and then be ready to go on that. For example, I've got just a gallon jug of water, and what you can do is you can buy 6 gallons of water. Uh, and we're just going to round it up to say it uses a gallon a minute. That would be 6 minutes worth. You could buy 10 gallons of water and obviously just refill them when you're done. You don't have to buy water every time. You can just refill them when they're done. And then what I'll do is pour the water into the cooler, put the pump in there, and use that for my water source. And so you can figure 7.5 gallons of water in there. That would last you at 0.8. We're going to shoot it at right at 8 minutes of continual hot water. If you want more, use a bigger cooler. I know I have stayed in a tent on some state parks where there are water sources. Run down, fill my jugs back up if I want to. Come back, I'm ready for some more hot showers. It's all depending on how long you're staying and how well you need to prepare on how much water you need to take. But everything's good to go. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get everything going, show you how it works. And the one thing is even though you see it charging, you could still use it via the 12 volt. It doesn't have to be fully charged for you to use it. You could still use it by running the 12 volt, or like I said, pre-charge it and just go from there. You can pre-charge it and just use it without an external power source. So I'm going to get the water set up. We're going to put the pump in there and show you just how well it works. See you in a minute. One thing I failed to mention real quick is this is where your propane will attach. I just screwed in the regulator, and then when I get done using it, I'll just detach it. Once again, I'm going to get a bag or a small container to put all the fittings in. That way in transportation, nothing gets damaged. But I'm going to just screw that up into the bottom there, and we got our propane usage. It uses 1 pound. And as you know, you can get these anywhere. This happens to be a Coleman. It is a 16 ounce. So I'm going to get that screwed on, and then we'll get to using the shower. Okay, we're going to light it up. And one other quick note, this is your vents right here. That could get hot. It said do not place clothing or anything on this, and the instructions said do not use it in an enclosed space since you are using propane. I want to throw that out there. So here we go. We're going to turn the power on. And it said adjust it to middle ways. Now we're going to turn the pump on. It said this may take a couple minutes. I don't know if you can hear that. The pump is starting to generate. And it said if this is not in use for over 2 minutes, it will shut itself off. Once the flame goes steady, that means your flame is ready to go. Give it a couple minutes. Get the cord untangled there. There's air in the line. There we go. I'll back it out a little. So there's your different shower. And that's pretty darn good pressure. Got a center focus on it. And a more steady stream, that would be for like washing dishes. We're going to stop it. let the flame get heated back up. You don't want to get it on there. Like I said, it said start out here. That way you won't get burnt. That way you're right in the middle there. So let's let that get going. It said it would take a couple minutes, and you could see your actual temperature. That's your inlet temperature and your outlet temperature. I actually started it a second too early or a minute too early. There was water coming out, as you could see, but it wasn't up to temperature yet. So I'm going to time it, let you know how long it takes for it to get heated up. Okay, going to do something here real quick. I had a microphone on and it cancels out, like if it's windy, or it cancels out surrounding noises so you can hear me speak more clearly. So I don't know if you heard it ignite. So the water's off, and I want to put this up to the actual hot water heater, and you can hear the pump running now. So when I turn this on, you'll be able to hear that, the igniter go off, and you'll be able to hear it burning. So I'm going to stick this up next to there because I don't know if you could have heard that earlier. So the water's on. There it goes. And now you can hear it. And you can see the water temperature going up. And it does. Okay, I'm going to shut this off real quick. Okay. It is as simple as that. I turned it off. So your water, I'm going to turn the power off. You can see the water temperature. Let me see if it's hot on the side. It's not really hot, but it does say do not put clothing or anything up there. So you can see the temperature rising. I did turn the temperature up a little, so it will get hot. So thank each and every one of you for watching. This is going to be a game changer. I know for me, small, compact, easy to use. Hook it up. Everything is color coded. Everything is self-explanatory. You could either use it, and in this instance, because I didn't have it charged up, I'm using the power cord. You can use it with or without. You can charge it up and then use it without any external power source. Take you a little cooler. Like I said, it depends on how long I'm going to be camping, off-grid, overlanding, however you want to do it. That'll depend on what size cooler you want to take. And you may have some thoughts of your own of how you want to do it, but it's super simple. Everything's included. Your pump, your hoses. The hoses are super long, so there shouldn't be any excuses for you not to stay clean and keep your dishes clean. You can get super hot water, super simple to use. Once again, it's the GASLAND Go Shower 3 Pro. You can't go wrong. And if I didn't say it at the beginning, I'll put a link in the description. I think these are running $3.99, and there's a 10% off coupon. And I'll put that in the description too. That way you can get yours. And when they shipped it to me, it took probably 4 days. It's super fast shipping right to your doorstep. That way you'll be prepared when you go out next time. Thank each and every one of you. Y'all have a fantastic evening. One last thing, a little bonus coverage here that I neglected to say. In the instructions, using the shower, at the bottom of the device, turn on the battery switch. Turn on the main power switch on the control panel. Note, and this is the important part, the bottom switch only controls the battery when the switch is off. If an external power source, which I used, is connected and the device can be used, which we did, but there's no way to charge the battery. Tips: you can turn off the switch to protect the battery life if you do not use the device for a long time. So what they're telling us is, and here's the unit. This is if you are going to run on battery power. You've got it charged, you're going to run on battery power. On the bottom, there's the switch. Off, on. off, on. So that is your switch if you want to use, because I don't want somebody to get this and be like, it doesn't work. You got to turn it on if you're not going to use an external power source. And then the last thing, when I was putting up all the equipment, I found this. This is just a travel bag. Everything fit in it. It's not even half full. Easy to store. Put it in there. We're ready to go camping. Y'all have a great evening. Thank you so much.